Welcome to another episode of Wisdom Wednesday. Today, we're giving you a treat. We have two experts coming onto our stage today. And this topic that we're going to talk about is stress management. Hey, we all been there, all done that. And stress, it is one of the biggest cause of health issue to us. So learning how to manage it and how to overcome it and knowing how to use the right tool to help us to manage this, it is the difference of you smiling at the end of the day or having another restless sleep, like what a lot of us do. So today, my expert here is Tanya. Hi, Tanya. Welcome to our platform.
Thank you so much, Martha. I'm so excited to be here and to be discussing stress and overwhelm and how to manage it. So thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being on our platform. Please tell us a little bit more about you and what you do.
Okay, my name is Tanya Levy. I live in Melbourne, Australia. I'm a mother, a single mother of two boys who are now big and older and stinky. They're 19 and 21. I teach yoga and meditation, and I'm also a positive mindset coach. So I really help people to remove their limiting beliefs. I help them to manage stress in their life, set goals, and really create the life that they're wanting. I'm also involved in a retreat business called Me Treat Retreats, and we run retreats for women, bringing them all together, connecting them, having fun and friendship, and engaging in all sorts of wellness activities. So
Oh, that
that's
sounds like fun because like I always hear people say between the age of 40 to 60, we're in a bracket that where we are too young for something and too old for something. And a lot of us during this midlife session that we are going through different life challenges. So stress is like that. It is bound to have it. So can you explain to me what happened when your body and your mind is going through stress?
I would love to. So I'll just give you a little bit of a background about why and how we create stress and the result it has on the body. Okay, so the idea is that we filter everything in our lives in through our five senses. I think we all know what they are. And so we take something in. So I'm gonna give you a live example as we're going through this. So Martha, do you like horror movies?
Love it. I'm
Oh
crazy.
my
I'm a
goodness.
sucker
Okay.
for it.
Okay, so Martha likes horror movies. I do not at all. So let's say, for example, this will give you an idea how we work with stress. For example, we're going to the movies together. We're seeing the same movie. We're eating popcorn together. We've both got a drink in our hand. So everything in the environment and around us, we're watching the same movie, is the same. Okay, so what happens is myself, I'm watching the movie, and because I don't like horror movies, what happens is as I'm taking in the information in front of me, I filter it through my own beliefs and perceptions. Okay. And for me, I'm seeing that there's something really scary and stressful that's going on out there. The mind doesn't know the difference between something that's real or something that's imagined. The result is the same inside. Okay. So what happens is that my mind then sends a message to my central nervous system, which says, oh my goodness, there's something so stressful going on out there. And then it floods my bloodstream with all the stress hormones. Okay. And so now all my cells are swimming in stress hormones. Okay. Now, on the other side of things, you're sitting in the same movie theater and you're having a fantastic time. Yeah. You're loving it. All the blood and the guts is beautiful. So your beliefs and perceptions tells you we're having a party. So that sends a message to your central nervous system, which then says, okay, everybody, let's have a great time, and floods your system with different hormones, which allows everything to open and grow. Okay. So you can see it's very important. Our beliefs and our perceptions of how we're interpreting the outside world is one of the most important things with stress. Okay. One other thing I'm just going to explain as well is that when we get ourselves in a stressful situation, we've got two hemispheres inside our brain, inside our head, and in between there is a muscle called the corpus callosum. And the corpus callosum, when we get stressed, hardens and it stops us accessing both sides of the brain. So we either go into the complete emotional breakdown when we're in stress, yeah, and we can't, we're blubbering and we're crying and we can't think clearly, or we go into the other side where we're very logical and we steamroll everybody and we're super organized, and neither of them particularly good. Everybody, they're just not helpful. Ideally what we want to do is to be able to relax that corpus callosum. I'm going to teach you a little tool, which is a really great hack a bit later on. And so then you can access both sides of your brain, which I call is the solution-based mind. Okay, so here we want to look at two things: is the beliefs and perceptions that we have, which decide whether something is stressful or scary or frightening for us. So we want to look at those sorts of things. And then on the other side, we want to keep the corpus callosum nice and relaxed, so we're in a solution-based mindset, so we can look at the situation we're in and think, okay, what is the best way for me to manage this moving forward, rather than just falling into a heap and not able to do anything at all.
I hear you, because a lot of the times that when we go into that stress response, we completely lost our sense of logic. It's like our emotion have taken over our being, and we can feel all different kind of thing. And especially, I love the fact that you use the horror movie as an example. Like, I'm a big sucker for horror movie because it keeps my adrenaline going, and it gives me that sense of relief afterward, that she's safe, that kind of thing. And I think that it is the way that we process things differently, and what we're brought up in, what we're experiencing, and we handle stress differently. And one of the things that I would love to ask, can you stress manage yourself so you can handle this sort of thing better?
You definitely can. So there's lots and lots of different ways that you can do that. So I guess one of the most important things that you want to look at is, when you're in a stressed out situation, is to be aware. Okay, so you're aware, because a lot of the time when we go into that shutdown, we're so lost where we are, we don't even realize, and we're just reacting to everything. And something happens and we react, and it's not just in regards to the stressful thing. So let's say, for example, you wake up in the morning and you've got to organize your kids to go to school, and you've got to pay bills, and you've got a big presentation to get, and you left your kids' lunchbox at school, and you rush, everything is just coming in on top of you, and you're just reacting to everything. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is try to develop some sort of awareness, so that instead of reacting to things, you're responding to things. All right, so that's one of the first key things. And to do that, you've got to develop some awareness. So there's some really great tools that I love to teach, which I'd love to share with the group right now, if that's okay with you,
Yeah,
Martha.
please do.
Okay, so there's one which I call the 5 senses meditation. Okay, so the 5 senses meditation is super easy. You don't have to be a meditation guru to do it. But the idea is what it does is it brings you into the present moment. Yeah. And as all of us know, it's only in the present moment that we can make change. We can't make change in the past, and we can't make change in the future. We can only make change. We can only make change in the present moment. So the first thing we want to do to start managing stress is bring ourselves into the present moment. Okay, so we're going to just do one part of it together to give you an example, and we're going to focus on the ears. Okay, and so we'll just do this. If we've got time later on, we can come back and do it further if you want to. I'm happy to do that. But the idea is you go through the senses, and you'll see by the way I take you through just the ears very quickly, because you're focusing on what's happening, everything just sort of sucks in, and you become engaged into the present moment. And in the present moment, there is no such thing as stress. Yeah, stress is something that's happened in the past, or it's something you're perceiving that's going to happen in the future. But as soon as you calm yourself and settle yourself into the present moment, the stress just dissipates. But it's not easy to stay in the present moment, as we all know, because as soon as we open our eyes, we start thinking about all sorts of things, and that's a whole nother talk altogether. All right, so let's try this together. Are you ready? We'll make yourself comfortable.
Yep.
And I'm going to just invite you to close your eyes for the moment and just start to focus on your breath. Yeah, just making your breath a little bit deeper than what's natural. And just slowly, slowly lengthening the breath, allowing yourself to disengage from the external world, and allowing yourself to really notice how you're feeling. Noticing if the inhale is longer than the exhale or if the exhale is longer than the inhale. And now just bringing your attention to your ears, I want you to focus on all the sounds that you can hear externally. Just listening. You'll hear my voice as one of those external sounds. And just listen in your own space that you're in right now. What is it that you can hear? Just keep listening. Stay connected to your breath. Listening to all the sounds around you. And now bringing your attention back just to your breathing. I want you to make your breath a little bit louder than what it normally is. And this time, bringing your attention to your ears, I want you to see if you can hear the sound of your breath. Keep the breath a little deeper than what's natural. Listen to the sound of your breath in your ears. And now just bringing yourself back completely to your breathing. And just for a moment, notice how you're feeling right now in this present moment. And then when you're ready, just slowly open your eyes, still staying focused on your breath, and then just relaxing. So how did that feel, Martha?
I actually felt pain on the ear, and the pressure in it as well. So it really sort of make me aware of what I'm actually feeling in my body. So you said that there's a few procedure. Please keep going. Take us to the journey.
Okay, great. So, but did you also find with that, like, even though you found the pain, did you find you were engaged in the present moment?
Yes, a lot
Yeah.
more focus.
Yeah, and unfortunately or fortunately, pain is one of those things that when you're in pain, you can't think of anything else. Yeah,
Mm.
so that's, it is what it is, and there are strategies to help with that. So the next one that I want to share with you is what it's called the hookup. Okay, which is done in many different modalities in NLP, they call it the hookup. In Psych K, they call it something else as well, which is another mindset transformation procedure, which I love. So what we're going to do is, so remember before I talked about the corpus callosum, the muscle in between. So this hookup procedure forces that to release. So all of a sudden, you've got free flow between the left and right hemisphere of the brain. So it allows you to release any stress or tension inside your body, yeah, and allows you to be engaged in the present moment, okay? So what I'm going to ask you to do, and everybody else who's watching this, is sit in it. You can sit or stand doing this, but let's sit for today. It's just a bit easier. And I want you to make sure that your feet are on the floor, your legs are not crossed, and your hands are not crossed. So have your right hand sitting on your right leg and your left hand sitting on your left leg, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to get you to can you, Martha, think of something at the moment that is, like you said, either your ears that are painful or something in your life at the moment that's causing you a lot of stress? Is there one thing that you can think of?
Work.
Okay. So when you think about that, does it make you sort of get a bit churned up inside or feel a bit emotional or some sort of that you can feel it?
Yes, definitely in the chest.
Okay, great. So in this case, just so people know, she's identified something that's stressful and she's also got a physical symptom. So she's got two elements to identifying stress, which is fantastic. Okay, so we're going to do this procedure. So everybody, if you're watching this, what I want you to do is just close your eyes, and Martha, you do the same thing. And I want you to allow yourself to connect to that perception of stress. Yeah. about work in your instance, Martha, or for whatever else it is for anybody else. So just allow yourself to really go into that stress, that overwhelm around the situation you've chosen. Notice if there's any physical feeling that's associated with it. And once you've connected to that really well, Martha, I just want you to nod your head. Okay, so keep your eyes closed, and everybody else, keep your eyes closed, stay connected to that feeling. And now I want you to cross your ankles any which way. Keep your eyes closed. So now one ankle is on top of the other. And now what I want you to do is take your arm straight out in front of you and cross your wrists. All right, cross your wrists, one on top of the other. Now bring your little fingers to touch and then turn your palms to face each other. Interlace your fingers and then relax your hands into your lap. Relax your hands down, or you can fold them into your chest, whatever feels more comfortable. Now, all you have to do here, this is the hookup response, and I want you to stay connected and thinking about all the things that are overwhelming you with work at the moment, and as well that physical feeling that you mentioned you had in your chest. And I want you to stay like this until that's gone down to about a 1 out of 10, or even preferably a 0 out of 10. Yeah. And when you get to that point, when you're thinking about work or whatever you were thinking about before, when you get to that point, I want you to just open your eyes. Take your time. And everybody else who's watching it, you do the same thing. Stay in this position, in this hookup position, until you feel whatever you were focusing on before has completely dissolved.
That worked.
Okay. So then you uncross your hands, uncross your feet, and now, close your eyes. And I want you to focus on, think about what you were thinking about before and notice how you feel.
Oh, the chat's hate is actually gone. That's good.
So easy and so fast, yeah? So it's
Yeah.
just the process is you focus on what was stressing you, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. You cross your ankles, you cross your hands, interlacing them either in your lap or you can fold them in, yeah? And then once you've done, you feel the change, yeah? And then you just
Yes.
relax. You just check back in. So you close your eyes and notice, is it there anymore? No, no. It's only a matter of time. I've never, in the 10 years I've been doing this, I've never not had it work. Not once.
Yeah. Like I know that a lot of us that who are watching this is like, this is so woo. I'm like, try it for yourself. Try it for yourself, see how it go, and make sure that you're present. Okay, when you're doing any kind of activity or strengthening activity, you need to make sure that you're present. You're not being distracted by things that is outsourced. You are actually completely aligned with yourself and feeling that feeling. And I think that's what I did just then, and I definitely feel a lift and a shift.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think, look, that's really important for, the age group that we're talking about, because most of us are such busy mums and we've got so many, demands and expectations that are placed on us. And we really need to prioritize looking after ourselves. It's that old sort of, idea that you put your own mask on when you're in the plane before you do that of the kids or any of your other loved ones. And it's really important, in terms of managing stress or anything, that we look after ourselves. And even if it is creating a window, and I tell a lot of my clients, if you're feeling overwhelmed, go, if you can't find time, especially with little ones, or if you're at work, the toilet. The toilet works really well. You don't have to sit on, you can put the seat down and you can do this process in a short period of time and really get tremendous results in your own private enclosed space of the bathroom, if you can't find yourself a little time for yourself.
Yeah, that is amazing because, like, you're completely right. In our age, in our group, and what's going on in the world, I think like cost of living has definitely been one stress amounts a lot of family. And then a lot of us thinks that, oh, because I need to save up for this, I can't do something for ourselves. And I find that that's one of the big no-no. As our group, we've been trying to organize a lot more activity to join each other. And I understand the cost of living, it is one of them, but some of the things that we can budgeted in to actually give it to us, because just that moment of seeing some of the girls differently. I think last time we did a Sydney karaoke night, not a lot of us actually sang in there, but some of them still joined, and it was under $20 of spending. We just want to do something for ourselves. And I hear a lot of the ladies say, oh, I was so stressed out, I didn't know, like, how it is to come out to see people. And after they done it, they said, this is the best thing I ever done. It is
Yeah.
that little bit of recognition, that movement to know that, hey, spending on yourself is, you don't have to feel guilty. Just like the retreat that you're running, it is a time for yourself to ground yourself so you can be this better person for other people as well.
Yeah. Well, look, the retreats is, really about bringing women together, like-minded women, yeah,
Mm.
and to support each other, to laugh together, because, it's the best time when you get together with women and you laugh and have fun and share amazing experience in a non-judgmental environment. It's really precious. And, for most of us, we're caregivers. We're caregivers of kids, of animals, of parents, of aunties, of uncles, whether we're at work or something. So, coming to one of our retreats, we totally spoil you. You don't have to do any cleaning. You don't have to do any cooking. You don't even have to show up to one of any of the events if you don't want to. We had one lady who came and all she did, so we have actually wine in the afternoons and in the evenings for those that chose. And every afternoon she would get out of bed at 4 o'clock and she would have a few glasses of wine. She would eat dinner and then she would go back to bed. And Vicky Friedman, my business partner, and then I said, oh my God, I hope she had a good time. And she said that was the best weekend she's ever had. Because we have a lot of wellness activities. People can do yoga, meditation. I do a drum journey. We've got an amazing self-love workshop this time. Vicky runs laughter workshops. We have a hammam, which is a Turkish steam bath ritual, nature walks, massages, but everything is optional. And I think, that's really important, because some women want to come and get involved and learn healthy habits to stop them from being overwhelmed, or, self-care stuff, because we don't often look after ourselves.
Yeah.
And some people love to get really involved, and some people want to come to just some things, and other people want to just sit back and just enjoy a beautiful space in nature and just come to have these delicious meals that are prepared for them and also cleaned up, so you don't even have to do that.
Yeah, that's perfect, because that's one of the reasons why I love cruising, because that's the only time that no one can find me. I can completely do a social detox. There's absolutely every excuse to look after myself and just to have fun. And doing this sort of thing is a great thing for us. So if I'm going to ask you the last thing that you can share with us about stress management, what are your biggest tips that we can do for ourselves?
Okay, thank you. That's a great question. So this is something which is what the tools that I gave you really help you in the moment. Yeah. So when you're getting overwhelmed or stressed, you want to do something to really de-escalate everything. But like everything, stress is cumulative. Okay. So it sort of works one on top of the other and it gets more and more and more. So the idea is that we want to try, and it's like a pressure cooker. We want to try and take that lid off to let ourselves decompress. But ultimately, long term, as you were saying before, Martha, stress is not going anywhere. We just seem to be having so many stresses, whether it's financial, relationship, at work, our kids. I mean, it's really everywhere. And we have to not just get used to it, but learn to manage it. And so my recommendation is that you really want to build into your life healthy habits that support you to be the person you want to be. Yeah. Now, please don't get off this chat and go and think, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this, and pick one. Yeah. Pick one and introduce it into your life. Yeah. So here is the first big tip. If you don't schedule it into your diary, it's not going to happen. Yeah. I bet you're like that. I'm like that. Are you like that, Martha? That if we don't
I
put it in
set
the diary,
alarm as well so I don't forget.
exactly. So the first thing that I suggest you do is pick one thing that relaxes you. Now, this is really individual. It might be, for me, it's doing yoga. For some people, it's going for a walk. For other people, it might be pottering around in their garden. For some people, it could be doing something creative. So it doesn't really matter what it is, as long as for you, it makes you feel relaxed. So I've got a lady the other day said, doing jigsaw puzzles was her thing. And I was like, great. Yeah. So find that one thing to begin with that is going to help you to just relax. Yeah. And then I do this on a Sunday and I look at my whole diary for the week. And then the first thing that I put in is, where am I going to put these times for myself? Okay. So for me, I do mine usually first thing in the morning because it's the only time I get peace and quiet in my house. And I also recommend, which is a beautiful thing for each of you, is to find a little corner or spot in your own house, just somewhere. Get a tiny little table if you can, maybe put a candle on it or a crystal, or maybe some of you have got like a deck of cards or a little plant or something. And I call this my goddess corner. Yeah. And so I go to this goddess corner every day. This is my place. And it reminds me that I'm showing up for myself. Yeah. Sometimes I go there and I light the candle and I might say a prayer for myself or somebody else. Sometimes I light the candle and I do, some tarot cards and just pull out some nice little cards. Sometimes I'll do some of the, like the 5 senses meditation that I talked about, breathing exercise, but that is a signature to me that I'm showing up for myself. Yeah, that I matter, that I've created time for myself each and every single day. And I only recommend in the beginning 2 minutes. Just start with 2 minutes. Because then if you're doing 2 minutes or every second day, then you're like, at the end of the week, you're like, yeah, I did that. I can do this. And you feel the benefit for it. And then afterwards, you turn the 2 minutes into 5 and 5 minutes into 10. 10, 15 minutes is a great amount of time. If you could do it 5 days a week, it will really make a difference. And you showing up for yourself shows you you're committed to making a difference. Yeah, it shows you that you've got some awareness around yourself, especially with some of the different tools. And there's many different tools, and you'll learn a lot of those should you come on one of our me treats. But it's a really great thing just to signify to yourself that you're going to take 2 minutes out of every single day. You might choose to just sit in that hook up pose just to allow yourself to decompress. But then slowly, you want to build up some habits each and every week that you're doing, which is helping you to just relax your stress levels and to switch on your mind, to sharpen your awareness so that you start responding to life rather than reacting to life.
That sounds amazing. So please tell us how our audience can reach out to you.
Well, we're on most of the social media. So my name, Tanya Levy at In Purpose, is my business, and I'm on all the social media channels. And if you're interested in our me treats, and we've got one coming up in August, from the 8th to the 11th, actually, in Hepburn Springs, and that's at metreatretreats.com or me treats all over social media as well.
That sounds amazing. I will be putting her contacts into our show note today. So anyone who really had enough, like a lot of us do, it is time to put ourselves first, give ourselves that grounding, give ourselves that alignment back so you can face another day with a smile instead of stress. Thank you so much, Tanya, for being our guest today.
Thank you so much. It's been so much fun, and hopefully everybody got something out of it. Thank
We
you so much for
definitely did.
inviting me.
Thank you again. Thank you for all our audience and listeners for joining us again at the Wisdom Wednesday, where we're here to support you to face the challenge and overcome them of our everyday life. Thank you again. Looking forward to seeing you at the next episode.